All right, guys, Big Tank here. So this tutorial, I want to show now how to set a maximum and a minimum viewport width to work with your Fluid Typography for WordPress. So WordPress normally, right now, if you build your custom theme now using the full site editing technique, your theme.json by default they come with Fluid typography out of the box, right? So if you never understand it, Fluid typography to start with, now just a fancy way of saying responsive typography, right? Like initially, if you get, I'll just explain quickly. If you get different screen sizes where you want to make your design adapt to, you can find out say you use a lot of media queries now to make sure say, okay, this font look good for maybe desktop, it look good for mobile, it look for tablet, it look for this, like up to like 7 or different screen sizes, right? So using Fluid typography, it makes sure say you not to depend on that media query way of adapting your fonts to those different viewports. So it actually they let you do it. They let you set a minimum and a maximum and a minimum value, like a maximum font value and a minimum font value. So when somebody come to your site to go visit to go see your content now, probably from a desktop screen, they see the maximum value, but as the check them out for different screen size, maybe the view for tablet, view for different font sizes now, automatically now, the Fluid typography now go to calculate itself now, they adapt to those different screen sizes. So then adjust the easy way of explaining that stuff. So if you don't use clamp property for CSS before, then definitely you don't do Fluid typography. So moving on to how WordPress works with this Fluid typography. If you go to your theme.json file now under the typography block, you see say they'd already set Fluid true. And mind that they use the 2025 theme, WordPress theme, so not one of their default themes. So they already set Fluid typography to true. And if you see how they set all these sizes or all these different font sizes here, like the medium and the large and the extra large and even the extra large, you see this part where they say Fluid, right? So basically, what does this thing mean? We say the maximum value where this font go be now 3 rem, while the minimum value now 2 rem. 2.15 rem rather. Then the default size is 2.15 rem. So actually, if I even do this in which I I'd like my default value to be the maximum size because it only starts from this 3 rem. So this default size what they put here and adjust the probably maybe this theme.json when WordPress creates this theme, then they do something like a mobile first design. That's why they go likely say, okay, maybe the default size be 2.15 rem. But if they do from desktop now, your default size now most likely will be 3 rem. But anyhow, as far as you get this Fluid here, you get the max value and the minimum value. If they view from desktop, the default size will always be 3 rem. So WordPress now they calculate just like every other calculation. Let's say maybe you want to go set your base font size now out from 16 pixel to maybe 18 pixel. The default base font size will always be 16 pixel. So what does that want me to say? This 3 rem now is actually 3 times 16, which would be 40 something. 3 times 16, let's say 48, right? Then 2.15 should be like 34.4. So now if we come over here, I'll open my inspect elements and I will inspect this heading and also take note for the back. Now that is set down to XXL and XXL for our theme.json. Now these same values they see here. So 3 rem, which is the max size. Now you will see for this place to as the default where would you see for desktop here. So if I go over to computed and just type font size, you see the font size is show 48 pixel, right? Because now it collect the max value. But then notice if I begin to change the font size, see I'm another start to bring this viewport down safe. You don't see that it change automatically. So if I begin to bring them down now, you see as a fluid now the make sure say the font size now they adapt to different screen sizes, right? So probably if I view this in from like a screen size of 575 pixel, my font size now they calculates and it all come down to 37.7 pixel. And WordPress actually they use CSS clamp property now to make sure say this this font size the adapts to this particular viewport. And to see that happening, you see if I hover on this font size now, which is XX large now, you see they show me the clamp value, right? They show me the clamp value here. So WordPress they do all these things for the background and they do all this calculation automatically. So it will continue to reduce until we get to 320 pixel viewports, which is the smallest for a mobile device, right? 320 pixel viewports. So we get the 320 pixel viewports now. You see the font size now at 34.4 pixel. So when we view for desktop now, the maximum size is 3 rem. When we view for mobile, the minimum size now, which is 2.15 rem now go show. So every other size between 3 and 2 now, they go calculate their self now based on that viewport what would they view them. So if say maybe would they view this for tablet like this now, they see also the font size now is 39.4. So something like that now they happen, right? So what I really want to show now for this particular video here, now to set a minimum and a maximum viewport width. What I mean by that? Now, if we come to this place and make I increase this thing to like the maximum to 6 rem, machine the maximum to 6 rem, then the minimum to 2 rem, right? So in the sense, say 6 rem now they're very, very big, right? And if I go computed, 6 rem say now 96 pixel. Now, I want you to note here. Notice the dimension of this top here now. So this value is where I hover my mouse on now. Notice the font size. Just notice this value as it is changed, and notice this font size as it is changed too. Notice this font size now. By the time we scale them down, nothing they happen, right? Nothing they happen until we scale them down to 13. I think 1340 something. On to scale down to 1345. On to scale down to 13, not even 1345. I think 1340. So nothing they happen to scale down to 1340. So this 1340 now, now the value where they display here, which is this wide size. So basically what WordPress is doing, WordPress go make sure say before this your fluid type now, which is this XS large, before you go start to the reduce from this 6 rem, call the calculate itself from the 2 rem, it must make sure say this your wide size now, now 1340 pixel. So meaning anything where they are above 1340 pixel now, the font size will always be 96 pixel. Then anything will be like say they below 1340 pixel, then the thing will start to scale. Then it go scale them until it gets to 320 pixel. See as they go down now. Until it get to 320 pixel, then it go stop to scale. It go just stop for 32 pixel there. So now this is it introduce one small issue if you look at it in a certain way, because what if maybe your design now like 1200 pixel now be the width of the design, and you want this font size now to only start to scale when we hit that 1200 pixel. Now you go feel okay, maybe you want to change this white size now to like 1200 pixel or anything, may start to scale from that place. Fine, you feel do something like that. But what if you don't want to change this white size? And again, what if you don't want to make it be saying now when it get to 320 pixel, now the font size with this stop? What if maybe you want target your mobile at 375, make it not be 120 pixel, something like 375 pixel. Now be where you want target reach, you know, may go 320. You get, maybe you design your mobile screens now for like 375 pixel or 360 or some other mobile values, you know, may go 320 pixel. How you to do them? Now where we got to set the max viewport width and the minimum viewport width. And to do that, see this fluid value here now will set to true. You take as a true, then you go open your curly brace and you go use this value. Minimum viewports, and if you say we set the minimum viewport to like 400 pixel, and we'll set our maximum viewports to, let's say, 1100 pixel. Use 1100 pixel. So because of this values all set for this place now here, WordPress no calculate with this white size again, and the 320 will be the default what they use now. They no calculate with that 320 again. Now these values are going to respect. So the moment your screen start to read 1100 pixel, now there all your fluid size now go start to calculate from. Then the moment it hit 400 pixel, they go stop to calculate. And to see that working, notice the font size now is still 96 pixel, but most start to reduce this thing now. You see what I'm saying? Originally before, it respects 1340 pixel. But now, if we scroll down to 1340 pixel, you see what I'm saying? Nothing happen. Nothing they happen. It never they respects anything. But the moment we take them down to 1100, now the font size start to change. Should you see I'm now? So if we scroll down and we get to 400 pixel, you see and say it does stop for the 32 pixel. Originally, we would scroll down to 320, but now they respect 400 now. So anything below 400 now, the font size is not going to reduce again, right? So now how you just set the minimum and the maximum viewport for the fluid typography. So probably I said that they use fluid typography for WordPress before. Probably didn't adjust the part where they need to understand, but I need to just show you how the fluid typography work for you to understand this if you never use them before for WordPress. So this now how you set your maximum viewport width and your minimum viewport width for your theme.json file, so that you know the dependent on the white size where WordPress they use, and the 320 pixel now where they set somewhere for the background for mobile. So that's it for this tutorial, and I'll see you for the next one.